in our attitudes, our stylized forms and modes of behavior have normalized corruption. When we see it, we see it as normal. There's nothing wrong, nothing untoward, nothing offends our sensibilities when we see corruption. Because in the main, corruption has become normalized.
Now, the Director, Infrastructure and Property Development of the Special Economic Zone Authority, Mr. Hwabaone Masike, says as part of the construction phase of the Airport City Special Economic Zone, they will shut a section of the main airport road just before the arrival to Seseretsakama International Airport. He shared this in an interview with BTV News on Thursday that the closure will start today for a 6-month period. The Airport City project was launched by former President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi to develop a mixed-use SADC, where core economic activities will include diamond beneficiation, aerospace and aviation works, cargo handling and storage, agro-processing, pharmaceutical, specialist automotive and plastics injection molding.
The project that we are actually pursuing at the moment is completing in July 2025. So we are about 7 months away from completion. We are currently sitting at around 57% completion status. And what exactly are we doing, or when we talk about land servicing, we are putting in service access roads, we are putting in electricity, we are putting in water, we are putting in sewerage, and other associated infrastructure needs, such as telecommunication services and the like. So that's where we are. But we are following what we call a master plan.
Now we'll interrupt this news broadcast to cross right over to Rasesa, where President Advocate Duma Boko and SADC chairperson, who is also the president of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, will perform a groundbreaking ceremony of the SADC Standby Force Regional Logistics Depot out there in Rasesa. Now, the Regional Logistics Depot is part of the SADC Standby Force to support regional peace operations under the African Union Standby Force policy framework. Its main objective is to facilitate storage of material, equipment and end user stocks to ensure readily available logistics support when required. Let's cross over right there.
Good work, and we are going to find ourselves recognized in Africa as SADC headquarters will be found in our district. That's only what I can say, only to say that you are most welcome in this district. So thank you.
Thank you, Bakata Deputy Chief Khosi Sekai. I will go on and invite to the podium His Excellency Mr. Elias Mpedi Makhosi, the SADC Executive Secretary, to come and deliver his remarks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our Director of Ceremony. A very good afternoon to Your Excellencies, Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa of the Republic of Zimbabwe and SADC chairperson, and Advocate Duma Boko, President of the Republic of Botswana, honorable ministers in our midst, and the other political leaders, Mahosi Ahanu, Wetelipili Jotle of the village, and the Bakatla district. I just want to say all protocol observed as has been set by the district commissioner. I'm not here to give any speech, just to recognize the fact that we are at this location that was graciously gifted to the SADC region by the Republic of Botswana. Again, another gesture of the country's commitment to the peace and security and development of our region. We are indeed grateful that we have been given this. And I think, as Kosi has said, this is a development that is going to change the landscape of this village, and by extension, the other areas surrounding it. We expect, perhaps first to indicate that the project, Your Excellencies, has been given or awarded to a company named Zongan Engineering and Construction Corporation, Botswana. And they will be doing the phase 1, as you have seen the presentation, for 24 months, from 2024 up to November of 2026, which is the first phase, and which member states that some of which we are leading have graciously given us the initial $12.5 million to do the first phase. The expectation, Your Excellency, is that this is a regional project, it's a community project, and we will therefore be working very closely with the community here and the government of Botswana, as we have done the same when the building that you just received from the private party enjoyed the same partnership. So we're looking forward to that, particularly the council and the others who have to approve a lot of designs and work with us when we do the other facilitatory construction work. I want to thank Your Excellencies for really agreeing to come here. This has been a busy day for you, but we must commend you and really thank you most sincerely because we know you are very busy people running countries, but we are grateful that we're able to come here. So as I said, I'm not here to make any more speeches, just to thank everybody and to thank the Botswana Defence Force under the leadership of the CDF Commander of Defence Force, Rasehoko, for partnering with us. Your Excellencies, you might appreciate the fact that we already have equipment. Some of it we got from Mozambique when we did our mission there from Samim, and some of it came direct from Douala in Cameroon. That was not utilized, and the one that we are not using in Goma in DRC is here in Botswana, and the BDF has been gracious enough to hold this equipment for us until the first phase of this project. So this partnership, Your Excellency, we need to commend and recognize, and thank you very much, Commander, and your team. With those few remarks, Your Excellencies, once more just to thank everybody, including Mahosi Ahano. I thank you, muito obrigado, merci beaucoup, asante sana, tatenda kia leboha.
Thank you so much, Mr. Elias Mpedi Mahosi, who is the SADC Executive Secretary. Your Excellency, we are grateful for those remarks. And at this juncture, and let's kindly observe a standing ovation when I invite the next speaker. This would be remarks by the President of Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko. Ladies and gentlemen, our President.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Director of these proceedings, Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and the chairperson of SADC. I recognize you warmly once again, and also recognize your eminent delegation. I will not call them by name, although I know many of them.
I recognize them individually and personally and thank them too. Let me recognize the teams from Botswana. Duly recognize the Executive Secretary of SADC, His Excellency Elias Mpedi Mahosi. Recognize the ministers from Botswana present here, the traditional leadership as well, already mentioned and recognized, the political leadership, including the area member of parliament, Medao. I recognize all of you. Wish I could give each and every one of you a hug. But thank you so much for being here today. Our people across the breadth and dimensions of our continent, across our sub-region, Southern Africa, who in their numbers are like the stars of the African skies, and in their beauty and variety, like the flowers of the African countryside, all look to us, their leaders, in the various sports and spaces that we occupy, to address their problems, then the trenchant reality that troubles them on a daily basis, their everyday lived reality. They are mostly unsafe in some of their countries. They face strife. They face belligerent hostilities. They are in distress, and they are looking for help. And we in SADC have taken it upon ourselves, when these calls of distress are raised, to step in, step up, and come to the rescue. We set up, therefore, a force through which we intervene in some of these situations. This is a demonstration of our enduring commitment, not just to respond to the alarm cries and pleas, but to step in practically and decisively to try and bring an end to the conflicts that result in the humanitarian catastrophes that our continent has to deal with, that thwart and frustrate lives and livelihoods, that impede economic progress and growth, that sound in devastation and loss of human life. We have taken it upon ourselves to respond, to take to these trouble spots and deploy forces to assist and to bring an end to the conflicts. Such missions require facilities where the equipment they will need in the execution of their missions will be kept, and from which such equipment can then be moved and distributed with speed and dispatch to the front lines where it is needed. We are here today to mark the beginning of the construction of a very important facility, this depot, where the equipment will be kept ready to be deployed, to be taken care of, maintained, so that we are always and ever ready to move in as and when required. I am grateful today that the chairperson of SADC is here on the twin mission, first of receiving the SADC building that was handed over today, and secondly, to be with us in this epic, groundbreaking, marking the cementing of the ties that bind us together, and sending a clear message to our people, the unnumbered throng on the African continent, that we are mobilizing and readying ourselves for the now and the future, to be able to step in and address any conflict situation that may arise. And we will continue to seek resources to carry out missions of rescue, missions of assuring the safety and security of our people, restoring peace and order to places where conflicts would have erupted. We are grateful that this mission, this event, has been able to get the resources it needs, at least to begin and finish the first phase. And we trust that we'll be able to move swiftly into the second phase as soon as the first phase is done. I am grateful to have been part of this event. Grateful to be one of the makers of history. As they say, good leaders have a history, but great leaders make history. My task is not to speak in laudatory terms of some history that I may have. My task, together with you, is to ensure, going forward, we together make history. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much for this day. Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Mnangagwa, for being part of this journey. We trust that we'll walk together, work together, so that we translate these words that we've spoken from just mere words spoken into concrete, tangible reality, deliverables for the vast majority of the African people, so that the African continent may rise and continue to rise. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company and the privilege of your attention. Thank you so very much. Pula.
Thank you so much, President Advocate Duma Boko, for those remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where I'm going to still continue asking you to maintain that standing ovation, because we are moving forward into remarks by the SADC chairperson, His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Your Excellency.
Kindly be seated. Your Excellency and dear brother, Advocate Duma Boko, President of the Republic of Botswana, representative of the chairperson of the organ on politics, defense, and security cooperation, Honorable Professor Amon Murira, Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Trade of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and chairperson of the SADC Council of Ministers. Honorable Dr. Penyo Butale, Minister of International Relations of the Republic of Botswana. Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers who are here. Your Excellency, Mr. Elias Magosi, our Executive Secretary for SADC. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, and High Commissioners who may be here. The District Commissioner of, this one, Khaleng, is that correct? Eh? Kaleng, okay, whatever, Kaleng District, and all members of the District Council here. Another one. Bakalala, Bakala Deputy Chief. That correct? Bakala? Bakatla. Bakatla, Deputy Chief, Mukosi Bana Sekai Lichiwe, the Chief of Rasesa Village and Community Leaders, Member of Parliament of Kaleng West, Honorable Dr. Unity Doe, senior government officials who are here, the SADC Secretariat staff, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. It is indeed an honor for me to witness this historic occasion, the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the Southern Africa Development Community SADC stand-by Force Regional Logistics Depot here at Rasesa Village. I do so together with my dear brother, President Advocate Duma Boko, on behalf of all the SADC heads of state and government. This morning, we celebrated another significant milestone as we received the SADC House from the private party, Bohwe Investments Limited. This afternoon, we appreciate our gathering here to mark the official commencement of the construction of the SADC Stand-by Force Regional Logistics Depot on this 19-hectare piece of land graciously donated by the government and people of the Republic of Botswana. I would like to take this opportunity to reiterate our heartfelt gratitude to you, Your Excellency, President Advocate Boko, and through you, to the government and people of the Republic of Botswana for the many years of unparalleled commitment and dedication to regional peace, integration, and development of our SADC region. This groundbreaking ceremony is timely and marks a significant stride in our journey towards promoting and consolidating peace, stability, and security in our region. Regrettably, the last 4 years have seen our region witnessing complex and multifaceted threats to peace and security. These require urgent and collective regional responses. The region successfully concluded the SADC mission in Mozambique, Samim, in July 2024. In our extraordinary summit, we recently extended the mandate of the SADC mission in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, from 15 December 2024 to 14 December 2025. As such, the regional logistics depot will serve as a critical hub for the storage of and the rapid deployment of resources, personnel, and equipment. This ensures that the SADC standby force has tactical capability to swiftly respond to the threats to peace and security situations. Protocol on politics, defense, and security cooperation. The SADC Mutual Defense Pact and other SADC, African Union, and United Nations frameworks on peace and security on our African continent. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we must recognize that the groundbreaking ceremony is the first step, as substantial work lies ahead of us. This project will require an estimated US 45 million to reach full operational capacity. To date, US 15 million has been mobilized for this project. On behalf of the SADC region, I therefore appeal to member states and partners alike to generously support this very important initiative. Investing in peace and security is always a worthwhile endeavor. More so, given that peace and security are prerequisites for the sustainable development that we all cherish and that we all need. Allow me, therefore, to commend the chairperson of the SADC organ on politics, defense, and security cooperation, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, for her astute stewardship in fostering peace and security in our region, and reaffirm our full support for these efforts. I also wish to take this opportunity to thank the local community and our very traditional leaders here in this area for their support to this project. Otherwise, they would remove it at night when we are gone. This dates back to 2012, when the government of the Republic of Botswana generously allocated this piece of land to our regional organization for the construction of the regional logistics depot of the SADC Standby Force. Through your support as a community, you are making a significant contribution to our regional community and peace. We thank you. We look forward to further cooperation as the construction of this logistics depot moves forward. To conclude, I extend my sincere gratitude to all stakeholders, including the Executive Secretary and his team, in collaboration with the government of Botswana, the community leaders here, and the Botswana Defense Forces for the tremendous work on this site to date. Let us maintain our solidarity and a close cooperation to ensure full operational capacity as envisaged. With these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, I thank you all for your kind attention and look forward to the great success of this project. Muito obrigado, merci beaucoup, asante sana, kea lewonga. Is that correct?
Rea leboga, Your Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, for those remarks. And you may kindly sit. Thank you. And we shall progress to the very last detail of our program. But before I invite the next speaker, I would like to remind you that as per our communication at the beginning of this session, we talked about sword turning process, and my colleague Peter is for the SADC Standby Force Regional Logistics Depot. So we will get to be explained to how we are going to participate in that portion of today's program. At this juncture, let me invite Honorable Dr. Unity Dow, the Member of Parliament for Gauteng West, to give us the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, President Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Excellency President Duma Boko of the Republic of Botswana. Allow me, Your Excellencies, to say all protocol observed. Your guests have already been listed and acknowledged. So let me just say all protocol observed. Your Excellencies, it is really an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be standing here today, Morasesa, hosting two presidents. I don't think that this village has ever hosted one president for an event of this stature. It certainly has never, ever hosted two presidents for an event of this stature. So we are very grateful. I'm sure Khosi Sekai, I see him nodding. We are grateful. We are also grateful because a facility of this nature, by its very nature, has positives. The first is that when we see the scale of this project, we can imagine that there's going to be infrastructure. And that infrastructure, by its very nature, is going to spill over to the village. So there's going to be water, there's going to be electricity, there's going to be roads. So we are very grateful for that, Your Excellencies. We are grateful as well because jobs get created, when a facility of this nature is set up in your village. Bakatla, you must remember that Botswana is very large. This facility could have been anywhere. It could have been anywhere. But by some kind of decision making, we were the lucky ones. So that when decision was made, it ended up Morasesa. Rasa will never be the same again. Gauteng will never be the same again. So we are very pleased about that. But above all, let me also say, Your Excellencies, to the people of this village and to Bakatla as well. Being a host to a facility of this nature means that you must expect people who do not look like you, talk like you, to come to your village. So expect to welcome 15 country members at one time during the next whatever years. remember that you are now part of the region in real terms. It's not just Gaborone, but SADC is in your village. Expect people whose language you don't understand, embrace them, and make sure that they are welcome in your village. And be thankful. Be thankful that you will be placed on the regional, the continental, the international map of peace. When people Google Rasta in future, it will pop up quicker than Muchudi is when you Google Muchudi, because you are the center of something very special. So we are thankful for that, Your Excellencies. We acknowledge that this is really groundbreaking. It is, we know in this country right now, all over the world, not just this country, the economy is depressed. So when you see groundbreaking of this nature, you know that good things are going to happen. So we thank you, Excellencies, for being here today. We know that you have a busy schedule, but on behalf of Bakatla, on behalf of my Kosi here, on behalf of the leadership of the village, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
We, in our attitudes, our stylized forms and modes of behavior have normalized corruption. When we see it, we see it as normal. There's nothing wrong, nothing untoward, nothing offends our sensibilities when we see corruption. Because in the main, corruption has become normalized. And when leaders engage in corruption, nobody raises an eyebrow because it is seen as normal. And we offer justification. The second, flowing from the first, is that the legal framework itself with which we must tackle and contain corruption is weak. The act that establishes the DCEC is at best a very tepid piece of legislation. It falls woefully short. The third is that the institutions that we've established